January 11th, 2023, Day 32. Shrouded in the cold air and fog, Varanasi creates a calm and tranquil winter scene. Here, after attaining enlightenment, the Buddha first preached the discourse of setting in motion the will of the Dhamma, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, to the 5 ascetics led by Venerable Kondanya. He walked alone for more than 340 kilometers through forest, wading through streams, and overcoming many hardships, from Bodh Gaya to Varanasi, to teach them about the path to liberation. In the same way, the foot-traveling Sangha faced many challenges in reaching Varanasi, including bumpy roads, misty wind, and cold weather. With each step I took, I felt more respect for the Buddha, who underwent these hardships out of his boundless love for sentient beings. In the quiet and tranquil atmosphere of the deer park, hidden in a mystical fog and behind layer upon layer of ruined foundations of Asokan stupas and pillars destroyed over the course of history, is the great stupa of Dhamek. This stupa, which is 128 feet high and 93 feet wide, was built by King Asoka. Today, the stupa is only a ruin. Most of its materials were stolen and moved to Varanasi for other construction projects in the 18th century. The Dhamek Stupa is a place where the Buddha delivered the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta after attaining enlightenment. He preached to the 5 ascetics led by Venerable Kondanya, and this marked the first time the Buddha preached the discourse of turning of the will of the Dhamma, and the beginning of a glorious era of the Dhamma that has lasted for more than 2,500 years. This place also marked the establishment of the first Sangha, as Venerable Kondanya attained enlightenment and became the first noble Arya monk in Buddhism on the full moon day of June. During the first rainy retreat, the Buddha also stayed at Deer Park. The number of Sangha members grew to 60 venerable monks after Yasa and his friends were ordained and became arahants. For the sake of sentient beings, the Buddha dispatched all monks to different directions to teach and guide them in the practice of Buddha Dhamma. Sarnath is known as Mikadava in Sanskrit, Mikadaya in Pali, or Rishipattana in Sanskrit, Isipattana in Pali, or the Deer Park. In Sanskrit, Mikadava means Deer Park. Isipattana is the name used in the Pali Canyon, which means abode of the sages. Isi in Pali, Rishi in Sanskrit means the sage. Legend has it that when the Bodhisattva, Buddha to be, was born, many devas descended to earth to announce it to the 500 Pacceka Buddha, silent Buddhas, having scattered roses into space. These Pacceka Buddhas enter Nibbana, leaving only their relics to fall to the ground. Another explanation for the name Isipattana is that the sages on their way from the Himalayas came down here through space. After spending 7 days meditating at Gandhamadana and bathing in Lake Anotatta, the Pacceka Buddhas traveled through the air and went to a place of human dwelling to seek alms food. they descended at Isipatana. Sometimes the Pacceka Buddhas came to Isipatana from Nandamulakapahara, which was said to be their place of residence, according to legend. In the word Sarankanath, Sarnath also means Lord of the Deer, and is related to an ancient Buddhist story. The Bodhisattva was a deer king who sacrificed his life for a pregnant female deer about to be killed by the king for meat. The king admired the deer king's sacrifice and thought, "I am the king of a country, but I lack compassion. While this deer has such great compassion, I feel ashamed of myself." Since then, the king vowed to stop eating deer meat, abolish the order to kill deer, and issue an order to protect them. He turned the park into a deer sanctuary known as the Deer Park. The history of Sarnath is also recorded in the commentary on the Canyon. It is a sacred place where the past, present, and future Buddhas have been chosen as Buddhism's cradle. The Buddhas have taught the Dhamma of enlightenment to sentient beings, enabling them to understand the true nature of things and attain inner peace and freedom from suffering. Sarnath is also known as the sacred site where the Metteyya Buddha will arrive to turn the wheel of Dhamma.